Spyro, you're so silly. I can't wait till you're replaced by Tom Kenny. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't dislike this voice.
I felt. Okay.
You heard it here first, folks. That wasn't even gonna try to repeat it.
Yeah, you can just.
We should do a Tekken 3 video though.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not even necessarily a series, just an extended like half-hour video.
Yeah, just yeah.
A half hour to an hour of
Also,
just
you can
us playing
stand over
Tekken
this
3.
Also, like go through it.
Oh,
You know, I would very much love to do a Tekken 3 video.
I love that game.
That game left an impression on me. It made me show an actual interest in fighting games.
It's so fun. Tekken's one of the, like, I'm not gonna say it's not combo heavy because it kind of is, but it's not. Every other fighting game I play is very black and white. You're either getting bodied or your enemy is getting bodied by you. Like there's not. It's a lot like Marvel vs. Capcom for me, like most fighting games, just because like I'm bad, but also like in the case with that game, like. Yeah, look at him. He's literally just like one of the balloon guys, but he's got a wrench in different colors. But yeah, with that game, they're like, there's like touch of death. Like, they touch you, they like hit you, they can just combo you till then. There's infinites. It is a scummy game, but it's also very fun because of that. But like Tekken, I feel like unless you're on a bullcrap stage with walls,
Yeah.
I'd never liked wall like. Even like, cause Tekken 4 is like the black sheep, cause that's when they introduced walls, but it was like excessive. Like it was like actually a 3-dimensional like level. So there would be like inclines and like obstacles, and it was just too much. And then they toned it down to more like it's still just a room. Maybe the room's not necessarily square shaped or wherever. It's got like maybe like a trapezoid shape, but like, and there's walls, but there's not stupid obstacles or like it's mostly flat. But still like. That is the one thing in Tekken where, like, if you go online, you will just get like bodied. They can get you into like a corner or like against the wall. There's like wall combos that are just insane. But Tekken is a game where I feel like it's not as black and white. There is a middle area. Like, yes, you can juggle someone, but like it's not quite as frequent of occurrence, I guess. Cause like you can play that game you can play that game at all levels and have fun. I think, like on the novice level, where like basically what we did, where we literally went into like a used game store, and we just went in with the mindset, okay, we're going to buy a game purely based on the cover. And well, that was kind of half true. I had also really like had a fascination with Tekken. And I just always wanted to play it, and I was like, well, this one looks cool. And then, like, we were just playing it and had no idea what we were doing, but we unlocked everyone, like, in one night, and it was really fun.
I think we laughed really hard.
That was probably the hardest I've ever laughed at. Like, yeah, Dr. Paskanovich,
Yeah.
Dr. B.
What a guy.
Literally, like, one of the parts of his character is that you have to stand up in a specific way, otherwise he just keeps falling over drunk.
One of his moves is he bounces.
It's beautiful. And then you have Gon, who's just like, and just like farts on you. You have a farting dinosaur who's like impossible to hit because of how short he is.
Has boxing.
You have a drunk old scientist man.
Oh, also, they tempt you with this so much.
They're like, yeah.
Wow.
Huh. Wow. That was more than disappointing.
What the heck?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and then of course, Eddie Gordo, the greatest fighting game character of all time.
Did that not detonate? Why did it not detonate? Also, how did they flatten me in midair? That would mean the air underneath me would have to be very hard.
You see, the air is so dense in this area. It's so dense.
That if I jump, I flatten the air.
I like how some enemies do not allow you to ignore them.
Like, look at me!
Yeah, the big enemies will always like get you just from off screen as you're running past them. It's amazing.
Spyro, they made it much easier. Or Spyro, like 2 and 3, they made it much easier to like speed run. And just run past things. This one you can't.
Like, are you ignoring me? Hey, look at that strat. You like clipped up onto that ledge.
Okay, can I stop doing that?
I'm sorry.
I like how like, oh, we're at the finale. Oh, we can finish this up in a couple. No, we can't.
Yeah, one final thought on Tekken though.
I'm sorry.
When we first played it, and we first got Eddie Gordo, like we first tried him, we were both Eddie Gordo, and we were just basically button mashing at that point. And somehow, it was also the first time we had seen this, so it was hilarious. And we were just crying, laughing. Somehow at the same time, we both did the inputs for him to like go to his stance where he's walking on his hands with his butt in the air towards you. We did it at the exact same time, and we're just like jutting together in the center of the screen. And I don't think I've ever laughed that hard since. I mean, okay, earlier tonight we actually did.
Oh.
I don't even know how to describe it. But
You can just play it to the speaker.
is there any way we can like share that on the Twitter?
Probably.
Possibly.
Well, if we can find it. Oh, sorry. It's just
It was because it was on.
I don't know if anyone was invested in what he was saying.
You can just skip. Honestly, for time's sake, I would just skip him at this point. Maybe listen like
Just what?
You could just skip the dragons at this point, just for time's sake. I mean, unless you want to see it. But yeah, I don't know, because it's on Instagram, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure it wasn't even credited, so I'm sure it was just it was on a meme page, so I'm sure it's just owned by someone. They just didn't credit.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if we can like somehow post that on the Twitter, and then people will know what we're talking about. It's
like
SpongeBob related. That's all I can say.
The way they set up these enemies is literally the way if you had action figures, and you would have like one figure that had like a gun that would shoot out like a spring-loaded shooter.
Yeah.
And you would set them up on like barrels or like little boxes, and you would do that exact thing.
Man, I remember. I think it's still in a box somewhere. I had that Spider-Man stunt. What did they call it? It was basically like a Rube Goldberg machine, but with a Spider-Man like figure. So basically,
like, on the wall.
no, it was there was that, but it was like a set. I forget what the stunt action stunt. It had the word stunt in it. But you would basically like start him at one end, and there was like spring loaded, or like they had like webs that were like plastic, and like they would swing, and they're like spring loaded, so you like pull them back and snap them in place, and then you just drop like a magnetic Spider-Man figure on them, and he just had big magnets for hands, and he would like it would basically just go through this whole like mechanism and like a chain reaction, and you would see him like the figure would like swing across all the stuff. And then like it would end up like there'd be like a little like static non-posable mini like plastic figure of like the Lizard or Dr. Octopus, and like at the very end like he like swings by it and it like drops like a web net on him or something.
Yeah.
And that was just fascinating to me as a kid. Also,
did I just blow that up?
Oh.
Did it blow up the treasure chest? Did I still have the key? Or did I?
Was that the key chest?
Yeah. Wait.
Or was it just a regular one?
I thought it was a key chest.
I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it.
Maybe I accidentally pressed X and it was open. I don't know.
Fun fact about
You'll find out later.
That stunt set or whatever you would call it, play set, I guess. Fun fact about that was that it had a cardboard city backdrop, and that's what I used in a lot of the movies I made when I was a kid.
Oh, that's right.
And in some stop motions. You remember like my adaptations of the Sam Raimi movies?
Yeah.
In Lego form?
Yep.
The first one was a mess because it didn't like my dad like burned them to disc for me, and the first one there was like a problem, or like one of the clips was placed in there twice or something, so like there's just some randomness at the beginning, and I was upset about that because like it didn't start where it was supposed to. It had like another scene from later that was just twice, and I remember my dad and like my uncle, I was like showing them it, and they were like, no, it's like a dream sequence. Yeah, it's okay. You can leave it in. No, it's still good.
Lies.
I remember being really proud of the second one. It's probably terrible. I haven't watched it. I still have a DVD with those on it.
Wait.
I will probably never show anyone those.
Wait, isn't it supposed to...
Huh.
Isn't it supposed to open?
Hold
on. Because I can't get that yet because it's in the other parts. I see flight.
Wait, in North Cove?
Yeah, no, North Cove, I got everything.
Oh, yeah. What is...
Yeah, checking all the stuff. Hold on. Look, I got all. Like, what else?
Oh. I hope that was on the microphone because that was an amazing neck crack.
Like, hold on.
Well, I guess next time we'll know what we're doing.